Welcome and thanks for choosing the TV Box Top channel. Today we have the review of the Magicsee Iron Plus, Amlogic S912 Octa Core Android 6.0 4K TV box. Coming up next, we have a full review of its hardware and features, along with benchmarks and my final thoughts and recommendations, so stay tuned. I'll be right back after this. Navigate your TV box like a pro, with the widest selection of wireless Air mouse and mini touchpad keyboards from none other than GearBest.com, the best dealer in TV boxes and accessories. See the link in the description area for more information. Welcome back, and let's start with the packaging. The Magicsee Iron Plus comes in this white and black box with some specifications at the back. It shows that the CPU is the Amlogic S912 Octa Core CPU. The GPU is the Mali T820 Tri-Core GPU. It comes with 3 GB of DDR4 RAM and 32 GB of internal storage, and it has dual-band Wi-Fi support. And that's all for the specs, and I'll just fast forward a minute while I unpack the contents of the box. In the box, you have the unit itself. You get this infrared remote. The remote has a nice design, and it is well suited for controlling the basic functions of the box, but if you're looking for more advanced navigating functions, a Bluetooth Air mouse or mini touchpad keyboard would be a better option. See the link in the description area. As we proceed, you get one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A power adapter, and a user's guide. Let's examine the box. The box is made of pure plastic, and it's not made of metal as it was stated in the introduction video, so I apologize for this bit of misinformation. To the back, you have one HDMI port, one optical audio port, one audio-video port with the reset button inside, one RJ45 Ethernet LAN port, and a DC power input. To the left, you have two USB 2.0 ports with one being an OTG port, and you also have an SD card slot. To the right, you have another USB 2.0 port. To the top of the box, here we have a 3-point LED power light, and it doesn't light as bright as it is shown in my introduction video. To the bottom, you have some ventilation holes, as well as 2 holes for mounting the box on a wall. So I'll now connect this box to my TV, and when I return we'll have the rest of the review. So I'm set and ready to go. And as I start up the box, it shows the Magicsee Iron Plus startup animation, and then you're presented with Magicsee's launcher. Magicsee's launcher is very simple and easy to use, with large buttons clearly displayed. The launcher comes with a navigation bar at the bottom. You simply swipe in an upwards motion to reveal it. However, the navigation bar only consists of your basic volume controls, home and back buttons, and a multitasking cascade button. This bar comes in very handy when navigating the box with a mouse or a touchpad keyboard with pinch and swipe functions. Before we proceed, you would want to enter the settings area and check your display options to ensure that you have the correct screen resolution, and adjust the screen size to fit your screen. You would also want to select the HDR mode if your TV supports it. Leave it off if your TV doesn't have HDR support, as this may result in a blank screen. In the sound settings area, here you can select the digital audio options, whether PCM, SPDIF, or HDMI. You can also select auto detection if you are not sure. So let's go back to the launcher, and let's take a look at the apps section. Here we have a selection of core system apps, along with some streaming and social media applications. We have movie streaming apps like Netflix, Mobdro, Showbox, YouTube, Megabox HD, and Kodi. And you have social media apps like Twitter and Skype. you have full access to the Google Play Store, where you can download and install from the widest selection of apps and games. So I'll now pause the video for a second to install some system and benchmarking apps, and when I return we'll have the rest of the review. So I've installed all the apps I need, and first let's check to see if the box is rooted. And it shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 6.0 Marshmallow operating system. This means that you have the freedom to download and install any app from the Google Play Store without restrictions. Let's check to see if there are any updates for this box. Magicsee would like to extend to existing users of the Iron Plus that they recently released a new firmware adding some new features to their interface. These include a navigation bar, root access, and full access to the Google Play Store. In this review I've already updated the box to the latest firmware, using the USB OTG method, but new users will not have to do this update, as their new boxes will already be updated. And for existing users, the update will be available via this OTA. Let's take a look at some system and hardware information. Under System Information, it shows that the manufacturer is Amlogic, and the model is the Iron Plus. It also shows that the box comes with 3 GB of RAM, and below here it shows the remaining RAM and internal storage after the Android installation. Under CPU information, it shows that the CPU is an octa-core Cortex-A53 64-bit CPU, with a maximum clock range of 1.5 GHz. It also shows that the CPU only has support for 32-bit ABIs. Under Display Information, you have the screen resolution, and it shows that the GPU is the Mali TA20 tri-core GPU, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz. Under the Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under Thermal information, it shows that the box has an operating temperature of around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and this can increase or decrease depending on the activity on the box. Under Codecs information, here it shows a list of all the decoders installed on the box. In this list, you have codecs like H.264, HEVC, and VP9 decoding. There's no H.265 in this list. And that's it for system and hardware information. We now have some benchmark scores. Let's start with some memory read and write speeds. And it shows that the box has a RAM copy speed of 2618 megabytes per second. The internal memory has a read speed of 111 megabytes per second, and a write speed of 110, and the SD card slot has a read speed of 24 megabytes per second, and a write speed of 12. These scores show that the internal memory got some high scores similar to that seen in Rockchip RK3399 boxes. We now have the results from the Wi-Fi speed test. And the results show that on both the 2.4 and 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi bands, the box was able to maintain maximum download and upload speeds on my 30 megabytes internet package. Let's look at the DRM information. And it shows that the Magicsee Iron Plus doesn't have support for any of the premium digital rights management services, which means that apps like Netflix will not be able to show in HD quality. We now have the results from the Antutu Benchmark. And it shows that the box got a score of 40,963. This score is a good score, compared to some of the below-average scores we've been getting in recent reviews with some of the boxes in its class. We now have the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark results. And it shows that the box's CPU got a score of 502 single-core and 2,384 multi-core. This score is a good score, above average when compared to other boxes in its class. And the final benchmark is the Ice Storm Extreme GPU benchmark, part of the 3D Mark Gamers benchmark tests. And the results show that the Magicsee Iron Plus got a score of 5,939, and this score is consistent with other boxes in its class. As we continue along the entertainment side of the box, I'll now run some 4K video samples at various frames, along with 4 of my new Jellyfish videos ranging from 140 megabits per second to 400 megabits per second. These videos are loaded onto the box's internal storage, as I discovered that running 4K videos from a flash drive will interfere with the playback quality of the videos due to slow USB port speed, or poor flash drive hardware. I've also discovered in my recent videos that playing these 4K samples using the video player that comes with the operating system is a better option, as I've started experiencing problems with the codecs and the Kodi media player. So let's take in some 4K video playback. As you can see, I'm having much better 4K video playback using this method, with 100% playback of my 4K samples even at 400 megabits per second. Let's run a 4K video using the YouTube application. The YouTube application runs in HD 1080p quality on this TV, and I believe that the 4K option will be available when running on a 4K UHD TV. For my final demonstration, I'm playing the fighting game called Marvel Quest of Champions. This is to test the 3D graphics and the controller response during the gameplay, so let's take in some versus fighting action. So the game ran smoothly on the highest settings, and the 3D graphics was of a high quality. So in summary, the Magicsee Iron Plus is a good high-end S912 TV box. Its benchmark scores are good, I would say better than most. The 4K video playback is really good, and the gameplay was fantastic. The Wi-Fi speed test was outstanding, and the internal memory read and write speeds were high above average. I like the variety of streaming applications included on the box, with the ability to watch free movies and TV series. On the downside, the only problem was that the box is made of plastic, and the LED power light on my model doesn't seem to light as bright. So my recommendations for this box is that the box is a good performing TV box to buy. You have the ability to watch free movies and TV shows, and play Android games with root access, and full access to the Google Play Store. So I've come to the end of my review of the Magicsee Iron Plus. If you are interested in this box, a link with a coupon code was placed in the description area for more information. Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video if you found it informative, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel for more TV box top videos.